Namaste, welcome, a very hearty welcome to a dear friend, the Catman, so called. Well, we've all heard Catwoman. He's the Catman here. Welcome, Harsha Narasimha Murthy.
Thank you, Smita.
Happy,
Thank you so much.
happy to have you on Maitreya. Well, talking about Harsha, he's an amazing wildlife photographer. He's one among the top 8 young wildlife photographers. He's won a lot of awards, Youth Icon and the prestigious Askari Award. Is that right?
Yes, Askari Award.
Yes, Askari Award. And then he's, also listed in the Serves Wildlife magazine. Am I right? Is this
Yes, it's the
okay?
Savers Wildlife magazine.
Famous
Yeah.
Wildlife magazine. Good. Well, it's amazing to have you on the show. You know, I do look at your posts on Instagram. I do follow you. Well, it's good to see you, not in the forests, I must say.
One of the
on
very rare things I can tell you, very, very rare
exactly.
to see me not in the forest.
Exactly. So Harsha, tell me, how has it been? In what you were a commerce graduate in the beginning, and then you
Yeah.
shifted to wildlife photography. Well, that's a huge shift. I mean, how did it happen? When did it happen? Let us know about it.
So as a kid, I was always very much interested into photography. I mean, wildlife.
Mm-hmm.
I grew up listening to stories of animals and birds and some characters in the Hindu mythology. So maybe
Mm-hmm.
that's how I got an exposure to animals and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
As I grew, I got to spend some time in Dandeli because my aunt used to stay there.
Mm-hmm.
So that was one of the thing where I literally fell in love with the forest. Maybe that was my first ever exposure to the forest. Those days it was even more dense,
Mm-hmm.
or at least 10 folds more than what you see today.
Yes.
25 years ago, it
Mm-hmm.
was 10 folds more easily than what I saw recently. So
Mm-hmm.
maybe that was the initial exposure which I had, and that was the initial urge for me to get into the forest. And it was kind of exciting.
Mm-hmm.
I was
True.
maybe 4 or 5 years old then, and it was already
Yes.
exciting going into these places, going around with my uncle and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, as I got into my school, college, come back to the city in Bangalore, I had completely forgotten about it. It was
Mm-hmm.
all about studies, the regular
Studies.
activities and
Yes.
stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And when I got into my bachelor's in National College Baswangudi,
Mm-hmm.
one of NGO came and screened a movie on tigers.
Okay.
So this movie was called as the truth about tigers. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
it was called The Truth About Tigers, and that kind of re-sparked the interest in me.
Mm-hmm.
So it was like I could stitch the pieces which I had left it long ago.
Mm-hmm.
So that is when I started getting into learning about tigers and stuff a lot.
Mm-hmm.
So I got involved with some NGOs. I started talking to people, and that was the time where it was rampant. The
Mm-hmm.
Save the Tiger campaign was pretty
Yes,
rampant.
yes.
So
Mm-hmm.
that was when I started getting into it, and I started talking to people. And slowly I started getting involved. Right after my college, I got into the wildlife conservation
Mm-hmm.
side, where I started working for an NGO called Watchers India Trust.
Mm-hmm.
So they were one NGO who used to work in the South Indian forests,
Mm-hmm.
especially the Karnataka forest.
Mm-hmm.
It was in BR Hills they were working
Mm-hmm.
regularly. So that was one good thing for me, which happened. I got an exposure to forest through guidance of some people,
Mm-hmm.
and what made me pick photography was honestly, I used to see a lot of stuff whenever I used to go to the forest.
Mm-hmm.
So somewhere I used to feel it's just momentary. Whatever I saw was just to that moment. So
Mm-hmm.
that's when I realized why not frame it and capture it. Maybe
Exactly.
it will be a long-lasting memory. So that is how I picked up wildlife photography.
Mhm. Wow, that's an amazing, amazing journey. How did your parents take all this? I mean, of course,
Uh,
as any family, they would want to kind of, okay, what are you doing? Why are you doing? It's a typical mentality of most Indian parents. As they don't resonate with what we want, what we
Absolutely.
think of.
Very true. Very true. So initially it was the same.
Mm-hmm.
Initially it was very same. I too had my own struggles.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, initially, like any other parent, even they were very apprehensive about how things work.
True.
Honestly, even today, my mom will be happy if I do a 9 to 5 job.
Oh,
So, so
tell
that's
me
the
about that. Yes.
yeah. Yeah. So it's the same thing. So
Mm.
initially they were very scared, maybe
Yes.
because looking at a career perspective, it was very
Correct.
tough.
Mm-hmm.
To make money out of it is very tough even today. So in maybe on that lines they were very scared
Mm-hmm.
about it. But today, yeah, they're very happy with what I'm doing.
Wow, that's amazing. Well, how was your experience actually when you shot the first big cat? Maybe I was in Kabini. I still remember I saw this leopard. Of course, I'm wearing a leopard. That's my favorite animal, by the way, leopard today. So it's so fascinating, right? You get into another world. I mean, some
Yes.
people do get scared of where am I? Should I be standing here and looking at the wild cat like that? So how is it with you guys when you shoot the pictures?
My first ever sighting, I'll tell you. So my first ever sighting came in Bandipur for me
Mhm,
in the year 2013. Yeah,
mhm,
2012,
mhm,
2012, the end of 2012.
mhm,
So I was in this famous watering hole called as Mulapura,
mhm,
which is in Bandipur. So we were waiting there for 40 minutes. We
mhm,
got to know that there was a tiger scene. So
mhm,
those days I was just a beginner in photography. So I
mhm,
had never seen a cat.
mhm.
Was super excited when we got to
Yeah.
know there's a tiger coming to the water.
Mhm,
So we went and waited there. So at the same time, there was one elephant which was standing in the water, a huge tusker.
mhm.
So we got to know from the other jeep that the elephant chased away the tiger initially, and she
Oh.
was trying to come to the water, and this fellow wasn't letting her come to the water. So
Mhm,
we again waited there as our driver thought it might come from the other side. So
mhm,
we waited for 40 minutes. After 40-45 minutes, she came. We
mhm,
could literally see her come out of the bush in the
mhm,
small clutter. She was
mhm,
walking behind the thing, and just about when she was coming to the out in the open, the
mhm.
spotted deer gave a call, and the elephant again became
Oh,
very alert, and he
alert. Yeah.
started trumpeting.
Mhm,
So
mhm.
again, she took a turn and went back. So it
Oh.
was like a half and half sighting. My first
Oh
tiger sighting
God,
was
that was
2001.
so
Yeah.
kind of you would want to completely see the tiger, but still you
Absolutely.
couldn't.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes. After that, I did close to 40 safaris in Bandipur
Oh
with no
wow.
luck. With
No
no
luck.
luck.
Oh
No luck. No.
yes, tell me about
40
it.
safaris again
Mhm,
with no luck.
mhm,
Then in the year 2013, I went to Bandhavgarh. So
mhm,
this I would say is one of the most funniest incident ever which has
mhm,
happened in my life. So
mhm,
I was doing a safari in this zone called as Kitauli,
mhm,
and now we went there, and we hadn't seen a tiger even in that trip. Like
mhm,
everyone was saying, and me and another participant who was on that trip,
mhm,
we went with the group, and he
mhm,
also hadn't seen. So
mhm,
he's a very good friend now. He works in Bandhavgarh only as a naturalist.
mhm,
So we both went there, and
mhm,
it was initially first time for both of us in Bandhavgarh.
mhm,
So we went, and now we got to know there's a tiger sighting happening, and we all
mhm,
rushed to the spot.
mhm.
Now we are parked maybe 5 vehicles or 6 vehicles behind. So the
Behind.
tiger is in the water, and there's a line of vehicles, and we are on the fifth or sixth. So we were
Mhm,
so excited, maybe, and so tempted that
mhm,
we didn't realize what we were doing. So basically, one of the guide, I don't know what he even said from the first vehicle, he
mhm,
just waved his hand like this to us.
mhm, mhm.
So we thought he's calling us, and we
Oh,
got down from the
maybe.
vehicle, and
Yeah.
yeah, we
Mhm.
got down from the vehicle, and imagine we got down from the vehicle and ran towards the car,
What?
and the tiger
Mhm.
which was in the water ran away seeing us. He
Oh
literally
my
ran away. He literally
God.
ran away from there, seeing
Mhm,
us, and then everyone started shouting at us. And
mhm.
then someone
Yeah.
asked, climb into this car, climb into this car, and we climbed it. Maybe
Mhm.
after another 10 minutes or 15 minutes, the tiger again came back to the water.
Good,
So even now, I
good.
keep joking to my friends, if the tiger hadn't come, we would have got trashed that day because of
Exactly,
spoiling the
exactly.
tiger sighting. Yeah, yeah. So
That,
that was
yeah.
one sighting which
Mhm,
I still laugh about it, which that is
mhm.
when I realized how the tiger excitement can be when it's the
Exactly.
first tiger. So that was
Yes.
my official first tiger. It was
Mhm,
a tiger called as Mukunda in
mhm.
this area called as Kitauli.
Okay. Okay. So when you say you'll have to wait for days together, sometimes weeks to spot a big cat or an elephant or any wild creatures like that. So how important it is to stay calm and not lose it. Actually, I still remember, I mean, I did a course. I was also interested in wildlife photography. Somewhere, I think I went to Kabini and then Kanha. That was like, okay, why am I not able to spot any animals? And,
Mhm.
it was like so impatient, that feeling of, okay,
Understand? Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah, how do you keep yourself calm and,
Initially, no, it was a tough thing for me also,
mhm,
but maybe I was too passionate about
exactly.
making this as my career. So
Mhm,
at one point, I decided
mhm,
this is the time I want to do whatever it takes to make a career in this. I was
mhm,
very hell bent. I, in fact, went to some interviews. In fact, when my parents wanted me to go to some interviews, I went there. I
mhm.
literally told that I'm not interested in the job, and I came back. That was the kind
Right.
of frustration I had, honestly, because that was the
Yeah.
struggling days,
Mhm,
and it was very tough to make it. So maybe all that has helped me now. So now, though I'm a lot of patient when it comes to animals, and now honestly, luck is definitely favoring me a lot because never has it been so difficult for me to see a tiger now. It's been pretty easy for me to see a tiger. That's the reason a few people call me Catman, which also scares me because they have this thing. If they go with
Yeah.
me, they see a cat.
Oh
Yeah, they
God,
always have.
wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there have been people who who had never seen tigers in Kabini for ages,
Mhm.
and the first safari with me, they saw a tiger, and
Maybe you're
that's
the
when
lucky
they.
cat man.
Yeah, so that's
Yes.
what it scares me, honestly. Very, very honestly, it scares me. Someday if they don't see it, and
Yeah.
they'll think this catman is useless.
Come on.
So patience wise, yeah, there have been
Yes.
times where the safaris have gone dry for
Mhm.
almost like 10 safaris have gone
Mhm.
dry, 12 safaris have gone
Mhm.
dry. But again, it's the end of the day, you should realize that you're in an uncontrolled environment. That's what I tell people.
Mm.
When you go into the forest, go with open mind.
Mhm.
Whatever comes your way is a bonus for you.
Mm. True. Yes. Well, during the shoot, of course, when you see an animal, you're excited to shoot. And how do you get that right kind of a click when the tiger is looking at you or in an angle? How do you decide, like, is this is the pick for me?
Okay. So see, the first thing to grow as a photographer,
Mm-hmm.
what I would say, if you want to be a good photographer, there
Mm-hmm.
are two types of photographers.
Mm-hmm.
One, people who just want to document.
Yes.
So for them, it doesn't matter if the bird is inside the bush, if the bird is in some bad light. If they
Mm-hmm.
just take a picture, it's a record. We call it as a documentation or a record shot. The
Okay.
other category is where you want to make artistic pictures. So
Mm-hmm.
if you want to call yourself as a wildlife photographer who wants to make artistic pictures, the first thing is to understand the animal's behavior.
Mm-hmm.
And it doesn't come in a single day or it doesn't come in 1 month. So it's over a period of time you learn. The more you visit forest, the more you get exposed to this. That is when you learn. No book can teach you, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
So this is the experience itself is the only thing which can help you do that.
Yes.
So learning about it, and as you grow as a photographer, you need to understand the light.
Mm-hmm.
So there is something called as good light, there's something called as bad light, there's something called as rim light, side light, everything. So you should know which kind of light works in which way,
Mm-hmm.
and
True.
what's your animal is. You should know your angles better. So I was shooting in Tadoba recently,
Mm-hmm.
and I decided, we saw a tiger at 2 o'clock in the afternoon.
Mm-hmm.
It was 45 degrees, 2 o'clock in the afternoon.
Mm-hmm.
From 2 o'clock to 5:30 we waited at the same spot in the hot sun. The
Mm-hmm.
only reason being, if I moved my vehicle, someone would come and stand there, and I would lose my angle when the tiger comes to the water. So I was
Correct.
pretty confident the way I could predict the tiger will definitely come to the water because the way it was panting and it had
Mm-hmm.
saliva dropping, it
Okay.
had to come to the water in the
Mm-hmm.
evening. And usually mid afternoon is when they don't come to the water. Post 5:15 is when they usually move towards the watering
Mm-hmm.
holes. So we just went and stood near this place, and that is when we got a right shot with the light falling on it. Even
Mm.
before I shot a picture, I had this shot visualized in my mind. If I
Yes.
go and stand in this place, this is the angle I'll get, and this
Mm-hmm.
is the kind of shot I'll get. And that
Mm.
was the picture which made to the Discovery
Oh, wow. Yes. You
publication.
did. I think I did see that on
Yeah.
Instagram. Yes. It was amazing, amazing picture. Well, Harsha, can I ask you this? Why do you resonate with tigers and elephants so much? I mean, is there a special feeling towards a particular animal like that?
Honestly, in fact, more than elephant, I'll be very honest, it's tigers.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. It's some kind of
Yeah,
what I
that
can.
majestic feeling or
Yeah,
something like that.
it's something a divine feeling for me when I see a
Yes.
tiger.
Mm-hmm.
That's I can't even explain how amazing it
Mm-hmm.
is. So that excitement, that happiness which I get, the thrill which I get through tracking
Mm-hmm.
them, even by seeing a tiger's pug mark, I get so excited in the field.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of my clients tell me that I still get excited like a child when I see a tiger in the
Yes,
field.
yes.
So I myself can understand. I am even to this day. I have seen 198 individual tigers across
Oh,
India.
wow.
Out of all the 198 tigers, I would have the same excitement level as I saw my first tiger.
Oh,
So
wow.
this is still
That's
the
why
same
they call
excitement.
you Catman. Yes.
So this is one thing which I love about them. Right from their the walk, the coat,
Mm,
everything about them.
true, true. Yes. Um, when you say awards for particular pictures, everybody's creative in the field of photography. Well, a picture which is really creative might not be creative to you. So
Absolutely.
how do you judge when a newcomer comes in and asks you for what kind of creativity should I show in my pictures? What do you suggest?
See, the first thing as a judge, I have judged a lot of competition. So
Mhm,
what I see as a judge is the first
mhm,
thing, if the exposure is right, if the
mhm,
focusing is right, if the
mhm,
sharpness of the picture is right,
mhm.
if the composition is right. So all of these things are something called as the health of a picture.
Okay.
Only if the health of the picture is good, it will
Mhm,
go to the next level. The
mhm,
next level is to even consider if it can win or not,
mhm.
to the judging
Yes.
ground. So
Mhm,
this is the first thing I see. If the picture is sharp, the picture is stacked, focused properly,
mhm,
and if the exposure is properly seen, all
mhm,
of these things. So the basics of photography should be right in it. Just
mhm.
by randomly clicking something, I don't really encourage people to do that. And of late today, I see a lot of people manipulating their pictures, which I am a
Exactly.
big no on.
Yes,
I'm a
yes.
big no, because I personally know a few friends who are amazing creative art, digital artists.
Mhm,
I really enjoy their work and respect their work because they don't call it wildlife photography. They
mhm.
don't try to fake it because they themselves called digital artists and
Or
they
creative.
openly tell the world
Yes.
that it's
Mm,
been manipulated.
yeah.
So I have a huge respect for these people.
Mhm,
But when I see people manipulating pictures, playing with
mhm,
random things, adding different elements into the frame, I
mhm,
really don't call it wildlife photography. I would say I could call it wildlife art
mhm.
than call it
True.
wildlife photography.
Mhm. Yes. Okay. Now, Harsha, you have visited a lot of wildlife sanctuaries and nature camps like that. Well, which is your favorite, or which is the place where you want to go again and again? And is there a particular?
Bandipur is my favorite any day because that
Mhm.
is one place where I'm emotionally connected because I started my career there. I have
Okay.
spent a lot of time in Bandipur
Mhm.
in the year 2014. I have done
Mhm.
over 250 safaris in the year alone
Wow.
in Bandipur.
Mhm.
So 2014 was just when I was doing nothing. I just wanted to build portfolio,
Mhm.
and that is one part. Apart
Mhm.
from that, I enjoy photographing in Ranthambore, which is one
Okay.
of my favorite place for tigers,
Mhm.
and Tadoba also. Apart from that, the place which I would really want to go again and again would be Africa, where
Okay.
it's amazing. I love to go and
Mhm.
photograph there. The
Yes.
beautiful habitat, the beautiful forest itself. There
Mhm.
are lots and lots of animals.
Wow.
So
Mhm.
yesterday I was telling to someone in Africa, for every minute you get something or the other to shoot. So the
Awesome.
abundance of wildlife there is
Yes.
amazing.
Mhm. Yes. Um, well, coming to your upbringing, you just said that you listen to stories of mythology, and you could resonate with the whatever is happening with animals, nature, and everything. So, coming to today's children, well, it's very disappointing or unfortunate to tell that they don't know how a sparrow looks. They don't know how,
Absolutely.
yeah, they cannot even resonate with nature or wildlife. So,
True,
how
very true.
important it is for parents and teachers, and even I would say the government, to kind of put wildlife, nature conservation, and apart from the photography, how important it is to have that mentality of,
Very true.
yes, this is what we
Absolutely
need to
very true.
preserve.
So that's what I tell people very often. So the basic thing is to break the misconceptions people have. So
Mhm.
even to this day, if you go around and ask for people, as soon as you say a tiger, when I say photograph a tiger, they think the tiger jumps and eats me. So that
Exactly.
is the kind of misconception people have. That
Mhm.
is the major thing which should break among people today.
Okay.
So if you educate people right from the
Mhm.
childhood, no, if you
Mhm.
educate right from their when they're kids, maybe
Yes.
there's a good chance that they get to have
Mhm.
clear picture of what animals are, what are their
Mhm.
behavior, why are they important to the
Ecology, yes.
biodiversity and stuff.
Mhm.
Yeah. So that is one thing. So I would strongly, yeah, tell the parents or the teachers or
Mhm.
whoever it is
Mhm.
to talk to kids, to just
Mhm.
keep telling them. In fact, I have my niece and nephew at home who can
Mhm.
identify every animal and every bird which I've seen, and I keep
Mhm.
telling them this is the thing, this is the thing. I bring them shirts which have prints on them, so
Mhm.
they get, that is how they got exposed since childhood. Now when I took them on safaris, they could relate the animals seen, what they have seen
Exactly.
in the photographs or TV or
Mhm.
something. So it's
Mhm.
definitely very necessary for people to help them understand what it is.
Mhm.
Like you said, sparrows are extinct
Mhm.
today. We
Mhm.
hardly see sparrows. Today's kids have no idea of what a sparrow is. So
Exactly.
maybe bringing down illustrations or showing
Mhm.
them photographs and
Mhm.
telling them why it disappeared, what could happen
Mhm.
if the same thing continues. All of
Yes.
these things are very important.
Yes. Well said, Harsha. Well, coming back to the career, usually they say that, okay, you are a wildlife photographer, okay, you have lots of money to spend and take a break from your work and go and wait and watch for the animals with absolutely, luck or no results or no money. So I must ask you, I mean, are you rich enough to kind of just take up this career, or is it the passion?
Honestly, wildlife photography is a career which doesn't give you even a single rupee. Trust me. Wildlife photography is a career which can never earn you money, because in India there's no market for wildlife
Mm,
photography. Even when we win awards, the even when we get our pictures published in top magazines, we might get 300 rupees, 400 rupees as a royalty.
what?
That's it. Yeah, 300 rupees,
I
400
am
rupees as a royalty,
shocked.
maximum 1000 rupees as a royalty. That will be the maximum when someone prints your picture. Only one or two competitions have prize money worth 1 lakh or
That's
something.
so disappointing, right? I mean,
If you think it as a perspective, no,
mm,
it's a honest thing, because there is no job for wildlife photographers as such.
mm,
No one wants a wild. There's nothing as a role called as wildlife photography job.
okay.
Because if you want a picture of a tiger, say you want a picture of a tiger,
Mm,
if someone goes and googles it, they get tons of pictures of a tiger.
mm,
Also, another thing is, you don't know what to do with your pictures.
true.
So I go shoot thousands of pictures.
Mm,
Not all the 1,000 pictures fetch me money.
mm,
I earn my money only because I teach people.
mm,
So the reason of my earning is I teach, I conduct photography workshops and
mm,
photography tours. I have mentored over 600 to 700 people till now. In
mm,
fact,
mm,
600 to 800 maybe till
mm.
now in the last 5 years. And people trust me and travel with me. Even though I
Mm.
charge a premium, people still want to travel with
Yes.
me because they get to learn something from me.
Mm-hmm.
It's a value add of my professional service for them.
Mm-hmm.
My knowledge, my skills is a value add for my clients. So that's the
True.
reason I get a lot of repeat clients who travel with me. But as
Mm.
a career option, I this is the last thing I'll suggest people. In fact, I
Okay.
get emails every day. I
Mm.
get people asking me, "Can I be your assistant? Can I do this?" I keep
Exactly.
telling them, "I only have no job. If you have any job, please give
Mm.
me." We are only sitting at home today because of this
Mm.
lockdown. So it's
Exactly.
been a tough time for us also as a
Mm.
business.
True.
So I keep asking them. I
Mm.
definitely can't afford
Mm.
assistants and stuff. And like I said, the way I look at wildlife photography for me as a career was
Mm.
teaching,
Okay.
teaching photography. So that's what I tell people. Not all photographers can be good teachers.
Mm. True.
There have
Exactly.
been a very few good teachers whom I know. In fact, I was also mentored by a few good
Mm.
people. So
Mm.
maybe I would definitely thank them for what I'm made today.
Mm. Mm. Well said. Well, Harsha, many of them or many of us have a lot of passion towards what we want to do, but we are not able to take that first step. Maybe because of overthinking. Will I be able to sustain myself? Will I be able to to have a good place in the society and stuff like that? How strong was your passion, and how satisfying are you feeling right now after following your dream, after following your passion?
I would say I was very stubborn. So
Mm,
I decided that whatever it is, I am going to do this.
mm,
Irrespective of who likes it or who doesn't like it, I am going to do this.
mm.
I have had a lot of personal sacrifices for this, which I did. It
Yes.
was okay. Let go of many things, and
Mm,
I said this is what I want to be. So I was
mm,
very, very passionate. I At one point I realized this is where I'm good at, and
mm,
this is what I want to do. So
mm,
I definitely didn't lose any kind of hope, even during the most struggling days,
mm,
even the baddest of the bad days. But yeah, thankfully, touchwood, it's been a tremendous journey for the last 5 years.
mm,
After, past 5 years has been amazing. I
mm,
have had my own slice of fame today. I have
mm.
a bunch of people following me. They love my work.
Of
I
course,
am being
yes.
credited everywhere,
Mm,
and it's been a
mm,
good feeling for me now.
mm.
But like I
Amazing.
said, somewhere if you want to follow your passion, I think
Mm,
you should take that step,
mm.
because you never know when things can change for you.
Exactly.
But
Yes.
wildlife photography, what I generally tell people is,
Mm,
if it's your passion, keep it as a hobby.
mm,
Don't ruin it by coming into this. I know people who have invested tons of money in it and now regretting in their life,
yeah, because the
leaving their day-to-day
camera and the
job.
lens, or it's
Absolutely,
very
yeah.
expensive. Yes.
I think it's like I said, from if you look at outside perspective, people think. like you said, oh, wildlife photographers have a lot of money. Wildlife
Exactly.
photographers have this thing. But end of the day, we also do a desk job.
Mm,
We maybe we are in the field for 10 days. To
mm,
make the 10 days happen, we are working 1.5
true.
month behind
There's a lot of
doing in
work.
the office. Yeah. So
Yes.
like any one of them, we also have the same kind of pressure, marketing, bringing up website, all of this
Mm,
work. We also
mm,
have the same kind of work involved in
mm.
this.
Thank you for bringing in the right perspective that even if you don't have that kind of money, your passion can take you where you want to.
Absolutely, yes, definitely. See, that's what I keep telling people. Wildlife photography doesn't necessarily have to start with a tiger.
Mm,
Even your backyard is a good place to start off. In
true.
fact, when I started off photographing birds around Bangalore.
Mm-hmm.
I went around Bangalore. There are a lot of birding places. I used to go
Lakes
photograph
and
a lot of
mm,
lakes.
mm,
Yeah, a lot of lakes around. I used to go to a lot of birding patches around
mm,
forest patches, and that is where I used to photograph. I got my first tiger maybe after 1.5 year of starting this, after getting my camera.
true.
So it's a misconception to think only when you shoot you are a wildlife photographer. In fact, just before this call, I was talking to a friend whom I was telling I want to do some macro now. This is
Mm,
the time I want to shoot some frogs and snakes. Let me know when I can come
mm.
down and photograph
Yeah,
them.
that'll be interesting.
Yeah.
Mm,
So it's
mm,
not wildlife is not only about one particular mammal or one particular bird. There's a
mm.
lot of things.
Yes. Well, Harsha, so many of us see inspiration in you. I mean, we get inspired by you. Well, who is your inspiration?
For me, I think a lot of people, honestly,
Mm,
I have been like mentored and supported by a lot of people.
mm,
My biggest inspiration is I can call him my godfather.
mm.
His name is Mr. Kiran Sadanand. So
Okay.
he's from Bangalore and
Mm,
he's a businessman. He's an entrepreneur. So
mm,
he was the one who always stood by me when the whole world thought I cannot make anything in that. He was the
mm,
one who constantly kept on supporting me, telling you will do it, you will do it. He was like a big brother to me, I would say, and he's like my godfather.
mm,
Apart from him, I would say my boss Jayan Sharma, who is also my mentor.
mm,
He's one of my biggest strength. He really helped me grow to this level.
mm,
Then my ex boss Sachin Rai, he's the person who had faith in me that I will be a good teacher, and
mm,
definitely I'll make things better for myself. He was the one who constantly pushed to get better and better and better.
mm,
So when I joined to hold, he was the one who constantly kept telling me that you can do it, you can do it. And he was the one who constantly used to tell me, though used to be telling me a little rude,
mm,
but he always had this thing. He always wanted me to grow, and he always wanted me to
mm,
learn a lot of things about it.
mm,
So maybe these three people have made a big difference in my life, and
mm,
a lot of other friends, my ex-colleagues, a lot of my ex-colleagues. It could be
mm,
Santosh Saligram or Philip Ross or Rajiv Shamsundar.
mm,
A lot of these people have learned a lot of from them.
mm,
I see a lot of other people also. Like for me, honestly, I love to learn from everyone. Be it a young photographer, budding photographer today, or a good photographer there. I
mm,
have a lot of good friends in this field, be it Shaz Jung or Mithun.
mm,
Um, then I have a lot of clients. In fact, I've
mm.
traveled, a lot of people travel with me, and it's been a great journey. Like from everyone, I get to learn something or the other. That's
Wow.
the beauty here. When you teach, that is
Mm,
what I tell people. That is what I always prefer to do: learn
mm,
and unlearn. So
mm.
learn what you don't know, unlearn whatever you have learned it wrong.
That's the right attitude. Yes, perfect. Well, Harsha, can I ask you three important rules before you start, your first journey to the forest?
Okay. The first and foremost thing, passion for the animals or the passion for nature.
Okay.
That's the first and foremost thing. If you
Mm,
want to set your step into the forest, the
mm,
first ever thing is have be passionate about the nature, be passionate about animals.
mm,
Second thing, don't be impatient.
mm.
That's the biggest thing. So
Yes.
when I have seen a lot of people who are so impatient, they just
Mm,
want to get away from there. So patience pace. Don't get disappointed just after you go on one safari and don't see a tiger.
mm.
I have seen a
True.
lot of people mocking our drivers and guides, saying, "What? There's no tiger only here in this forest. You should
True.
name it something else random like this." The important thing I would say is, do not treat a forest like a picnic spot.
Mm,
It's a spiritual place. I would say it's a very, very spiritual place. It's not just a random holiday. where people go and chill there and shout there and party there, in fact. So
Correct.
if you go, like I said, no, it's a very, very spiritual place. So go with an open, clean mind, and you will be definitely rewarded.
True. Well, they also say, a photographer is meditating while he's shooting. I mean, you will reach that level of
Yeah,
calmness in
absolutely.
the mind.
Yes, yes, definitely. So that's what I tell people. So even before you shoot, you'll have to visualize it.
Exactly.
So for me, photography is a form of digital painting.
Mhm.
So I write stories through my photographs. So that is one thing which I always love to do. I keep telling people, if you want to be better photographers, you'll have to know your science better about your camera. So some people tell, no, no, it's okay to, you'll easily get it. It's a combination of everything. It's the science, art, and your luck when it comes to wildlife photography. Without knowing your science, you can't get the thing. With the artistic mind is when you can create something which is unique than others. And luck also is a very, very important factor, because that is what is depending on an uncontrolled environment.
True. Yes. Yes. Thank you for that, Harsha. Also, coming to my last question, maybe. Well, you have, done a lot of shows. You have won a lot of awards. You have reached that level in photography. What next?
Maybe I'm happy with what I'm doing. Maybe I'll be, in fact, looking forward to teach a lot of people more. What I know, I would definitely want to share with people. Maybe there are a few destinations which I want to visit, which is like a dream. My dream animal to photograph is a polar bear. So
Oh,
I want to
wow.
photograph it one day. Yeah. So I'm enjoying this journey. So let's see where all it leads.
Wow. Thank you so much, Harsha. It's been a pleasure talking to you. You have added a lot of important topics and important aspects into photography, and then also the right amount of knowledge, right amount of advice to the youngsters and people who want to do this for, as a passion or a hobby. Well, thank you, Harsha. Thank you so much for coming in.
Thank you. Thank you so much. My one message to people who want to start wildlife photography is stop seeing wildlife photography as a luxury element. I'm happy with what I'm doing and what I'm earning out of it. Honestly, I shouldn't
Yeah.
be lying. I'm very happy with what I'm doing. I'm self-satisfied today with whatever I have done and whatever earnings I get. But at the same time, it's not easy to just shoot pictures and earn money in this field. So that's one thing which I want to make it clear for anyone who thinks that wildlife photography is as cool as seeing in a movie. So it's not. It involves a lot of hard work. It takes a lot of time to reach there, because I see a lot of people today who think one trip they do and the next trip they can teach photography. It's not.
Exactly.
Definitely, it takes a lot of time there. So one should be very, very patient till they reach there. So that's the one thing which I do. And please treat wildlife as a passion. That is what I also tell people. Be passionate about animals, be passionate about birds or whatever it is surrounding you. And please work with the local communities and help the forest department in conserving wildlife.
Very well said, Harsha. Also, folks, definitely look at his pictures, follow him on social media. It is a journey, I must tell you. I was really inspired by Harsha's tiger photos, especially. Yeah, thank you so much for coming in today, Harsha. Thanks a lot.
Thank you so much. Take care. Bye bye.
Thank you.